why modern men are weak, and how faith rebuilds strength. Before we get started, hit subscribe if you are serious about building discipline, faith, and strength, not just physically, but as a man. Alright, let's get into it. Welcome to episode 1. This episode is going to be uncomfortable for some people, and that's okay. Today, I want to talk about why so many modern men feel weak, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And more importantly, how faith rebuilds real strength. Not fake toughness, not ego, and not rage, but grounded discipline and accountable strength. When I say weak men, I need to be very clear about what I mean. I'm not talking about men who are struggling. I'm not talking about men who have been hurt. I'm not talking about men who are trying. Weakness is not pain. Weakness is not failure. Weakness is avoiding responsibility. Weakness is living for comfort, letting emotions dictate actions. No structure, no discipline, no accountability, no submission to anything higher than self. That's not an insult. That's a diagnosis. And most men don't want to be this way. They just don't know how to get out of it. We have a discipline and direction problem. Modern men are drowning in comfort. No one initiates them into manhood. No one teaches them how to carry pressure. No one shows them how to master appetite, food, porn, alcohol, scrolling, and pleasure. And when faith is removed, something else takes place. Usually ego or validation or distraction. Here's the truth most people won't say. When a man doesn't fear God, he fears everything else. He fears discomfort, he fears judgment, he fears effort, and he fears responsibility. And fear makes men small. Somewhere along the way, men were told that faith makes you passive, that submitting to God makes you weak. That's a lie. Faith doesn't make men soft. It makes them accountable. Because when a man fears God, he keeps his word, he controls his impulses, and he shows up when it's hard. He takes responsibility for his life. Discipline becomes obedience, not punishment. Training your body becomes stewardship, not vanity. Leading your family becomes honor, not ego. Faith gives masculinity direction instead of chaos. I didn't find faith because life was going well. I found faith when everything had been stripped away, when I had no control, no status, and no identity. And that's when I learned something powerful. Discipline isn't about gym. It's about who you become when no one else is watching. Faith gave my discipline a reason. It wasn't about proving myself anymore. It wasn't about becoming someone worthy of responsibility. That's the kind of strength most men are missing. If you are listening to this and feeling convicted, good. Conviction is not condemnation, it's direction. Here's what strength looks like in real life. A strong man trains his body consistently, not for ego, for discipline. A strong man controls his appetite. Food, lust, alcohol, dopamine. If you can't say no, you are not free. A strong man wakes up with intention, not reaction, not scrolling. Prayer, stillness, and direction. A strong man seeks accountability because real strength doesn't isolate. A strong man submits to God and stops trying to be his own authority. That's not weakness. That is alignment. This episode isn't about shaming men. It's about calling them higher because men were built to carry weight, to lead, to protect, to build. And if you feel like you've been living below your potential, that's not guilt. That's a reminder of who you are meant to become. If you want help building discipline, structure, and accountability rooted in faith, that's what I do. No hype, no shortcuts, just work that changes who you are. The links are in the description when you are ready. And if this episode hit you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Because this conversation matters. I'll see you next week. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button.